Welcome to Coming Out of the Dark podcast, a podcast like none other, where women are empowered, encouraged, and uplifted to be the best version of themselves. Get ready to come from darkness into light with a passion to fulfill purpose. Here is your host, Miss Lady O.
Hello, thank you for listening to another episode of Coming Out of the Dark. I'm your host, Lady O. If you're tuning in for the first time, I want to share that this platform is in celebration of the life and memory of my beautiful sister, Glennis Marie Boyce. She is the inspiration for this platform. All that I do is in celebration of her life, and what she means to me. I would also like to share that I am not a doctor or a therapist, but I am a certified empowerment coach who is committed to supporting women that are ready to break the cycle of self-sabotaging beliefs so they can build healthy relationships, own their identity, and confidently achieve their desired goals. It's my life's purpose to encourage, empower, and uplift, and I'm honored to do this on this platform. Now, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and as always, I am excited to have an opportunity to get behind the microphone and share with you. Now, last week, we talked about taking the leap and what that looks like. We touched on various areas of the process, and it was during our discussion in the Breaking Barriers That Stifle Your Confidence room, which is on Clubhouse, we began to unpack the topic. I want you to know that I read all of your messages, those that have come across on Instagram, on Facebook, and I want you to know that I read them, I celebrate the colorful voices, and most of all, I appreciate the various views on the topic. We've all have come to an understanding that taking the leap is about trusting. We blindly trust so many areas in our lives. But when it comes to trusting areas that require total surrender and faith, we tend to go into the cocoon of our comfort and safety. When we do this, we prolong the process for our lives. And actually, we wind up missing the manifestation of our hopes and desires. Now, I mentioned that taking the leap requires you to take steps. The steps are considered the climb to total surrender to the process and manifestation of what is to come. Regardless of what you choose to do, you are required to take steps. Now, if you choose safety and comfort, that is a step. If you decide to choose trust and faith, that is also a step. They each require an action from you. So here's the question. Which do you want to choose for yourself? The climb to success, happiness, trust, joy, and peace is what many are searching for in life. We're searching for this in various outlets, which bring temporary gratification and satisfaction. The climb puts a demand on us to trust the source we're relying on. And this decision is made based on what looks easy and comfortable to us. You may ask the question, why? Why do you say that? I say this because we want to be in control, and we have to come to the point of really understanding that we want to be in control and determine our own outcome. We feel as if we know what is best for us, and no one can make a better decision concerning our lives but us. The climb is exhausting. The climb, it is tedious. It's painful. And at times, the climb can cause us to be laid out on a gurney of regret and disappointment. I'm on the climb in understanding my purpose and what's required. The journey has blind spots because I don't know the outcome, but I can tell you, I'm trusting in the process and taking one step at a time. I'm on the climb and living each day through the pain of my grief. As you know, since July 6, 2020, I have transitioned in so many areas of my life. Areas where I thought I found safety. I found that it wasn't safe at all. So I had to transition. I'm on the climb in understanding myself. I didn't realize how much I relied on the connection of relationships. And let me just interject here and say, I know, yes, 100% relationships are required and they are great. We cannot be an island alone to ourselves. However, I can say this. When you're on the climb and you're trusting in relationships, it can become a problem when your own identity is wrapped in your husband, it's wrapped in your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or even a friend. Then I want to tell you that becomes a problem. The climb is vigorous, and we must be sensitive to the message and requirements of each step taken. I must add, the steps are not taken swiftly, and there is no determination as to how long you will remain on a particular step. Perhaps that could be, or that is, one of many misunderstandings as we journey along in our healing, in our discovery, and in our purpose. We think of taking one step at a time like it's a natural walk that we take every single day. It's naturally walking up steps that we do in our natural physical expression. Much like walking without hesitation or thinking about what we're encountering. In the spiritual, steps are not encountered the same way. Steps are presented to teach us more about ourselves and our relationship with God. It's how we trust Him and willing to surrender our pain, to surrender our discomfort, to surrender our regret and our disappointment. And we're surrendering all of this to Him. I know this is strange to some, because the natural is what you see, and the natural is what you depend on. It's in your strength, it's in your ability to get to point A to point B. Now, I can admit you're likely to achieve success, right, on your own, in that mind frame. However, when the obstacles of life come raging and the stamina to maintain and survive overtakes you, that's when you realize, I cannot do this on my own. That's when you realize it is bigger than me. And I want to tell you, in that scenario, who knows what will happen, what it will look like, what will the manifestation be if you rely on your strengths and abilities. I want to share that God isn't trying to change your climb. He's not trying to change your climb to achieve greatness, success, happiness, joy, peace, or security. He's using your steps to change you. He's using your steps to heal your broken heart, to mend the scars that you've obtained over the years. He's using the steps to change your perspective, for you to see value in what you have today and be filled with gratitude. He's using the steps to weed out the toxic thoughts and unhealthy habits. He's using the steps to shift people in your life and reposition them in a healthier place. So if I can tell you, don't get discouraged if you find yourself breathing heavy along the climb. Don't get discouraged if you need to sit on the step longer than your friends, colleagues, or family members. To them, you may have been sitting in that position too long, but to God, you're right on time. When you know you're going in the right direction, there is no need to feel the competitive spirit of rushing to the finish line. The thing about the finish line is, we're actually never really finished. There will be another mountain to climb that requires a new set of steps and a new set of obstacles presenting new challenges. I want to share this with you. I recently read a quote by T.D. Jakes that said, "Never make a permanent decision based on a temporary storm. No matter how raging the billows are today, remind yourself, this too shall pass." This quote is a reminder that during the climb and the vigorous, exhausting, yet rewarding journey it entails, do not give in to the feelings we may feel. Don't give in to anxiousness. Don't give in to anxiety. Don't give in to disappointment. And absolutely don't give in to regret. These emotions, they can lead you into making a premature decision, causing the birth of a dysfunctional dream, a dysfunctional hope, and a dysfunctional desire. Simply put, you can have a miscarriage of it all. And we definitely don't want that. Remember, the climb is purposeful, and along the climb, each step has a purpose. Don't be so quick to hold on to people, places, or things along each step. Relax. Relax along the journey. And relax. And allow it to flow and discover the meaning of each step. Allow the revelation as to whether it's here, whatever it is, whatever you're learning on this step, if it's here for a reason, a season, or lifetime. Trust the knowing in your spirit. Allowing yourself to be free in discovery, and don't hold on so tight to your way of doing things that you don't allow God's. It's important that you allow God's way, which is ultimately, it's the best way. It's in Him we find safety and receive our greatest reward, which is to have a relationship with Him. And that's done through trusting, surrender, and obedience. This doesn't only apply to the climb of career or business success. This climb is in managing the grief in our lives. The climb represents our greatest sorrow and pain that rests in the chambers of our hearts. The climb represents achieving total happiness, peace, and serenity. The climb represents understanding yourself and learning how to communicate more effectively. The climb represents trusting and who and what you are trusting in. The climb represents many things. However, most of all, to climb anything requires you to take steps. As you take the steps in whatever it is in your life, I want you to understand the climb to manifestation requires steps, which is here to help you learn and grow. So please, don't go too fast. And I want to encourage you, don't go too slow neither. But what I am encouraging you to do today is to understand God's pace for you. I'm Lady O. I hope you enjoyed this message. I welcome you back next week for another episode. I also welcome you to Women Unleashed Club on Clubhouse and join in on the conversation in the Breaking Barriers That Stifle Your Confidence room. We're starting a revolution, guys, and it's exciting. It's filled with so much energy, so much growth and learning ability. And I want you to be a part of it. So until next time, I am encouraging you to make this a great week and go forth with a mindset to claim it, be it, and own it.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please subscribe to this podcast. And like, share, and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, be well, be safe, and be kind to yourself.